Hello everyone and welcome back to Until Dawn. Let's try and freeze Sam.
Let's do it.
Scooting over on her office chair. Now this scene doesn't actually happen if you don't get caught.
Well, yeah, obviously she wouldn't be caught.
Basically, if you don't do this scene, then Mike just kind of carries on whatever he was doing. But for some reason, he kind of just shows up here. I guess I genuinely think they did that because they couldn't think of another way for him to find her or her to get out.
Seems to be that way, yeah.
Things were tight. Oh my, thank God you found me.
It's okay. You're okay?
Mike looks a bit fucked up.
Yeah.
Look at his fingers. Oh yeah, because we cut his fingers off.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the lucky one.
Jesus, what happened?
There's some fucking maniac up here on the mountain. He's trying to kill us all.
Listen, this guy who you're talking about, he attacked me. He showed me these videos too. And one of them showed Josh being killed. Just ripped apart by this huge fucking saw blade.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck is going on around here?
Again, they don't seem to be that fucking bothered.
Yeah,
Anyone
it's
looking for
weird.
something?
Every total time.
Looks like her clothes are in there. Now, because we missed a section with Sam because she got caught, there's a lot of evidence for who the killer is that you actually miss.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. You'll see in a second, but it's kind of inconsequential. You don't need to see him. It's just for completion's sake.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's like most of the game, really.
You're always going to miss at least one thing because the paths the characters take are a bit divergent.
Well, yeah. There's always something else in another direction you could have got instead.
Hey,
Jeez, you look like hell.
nice to see you too. What are you doing?
Well, actually, the towel didn't turn out to be the best outfit for fighting off killer maniacs, you know. Do you mind, Mike?
Oh, right. My bad.
In this instance, and it's not me being creepy, I probably would keep an eye on her just because you two know you're not alone there.
Yeah.
That's the reason I would use anyway.
See you in a bit.
I'm in
Yeah,
bed.
we're reaching the end of the game now, George.
Well,
Or
it must
so
be.
we thought.
Surely.
Sam sounds like Chris and Ashley. Mike looks a bit worse for wear.
No! No, no, no! Get away!
Oh, Chris. Oh, Chris.
What the fuck?
You've heard of blanks before. I mean, really?
What?
Da da da!
Yep, it was Josh the whole time.
Okay.
Oh, God!
Well, she survived somehow.
Oh, my God, Matt! Matt! Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
It's very conveniently tied knot right there.
Yeah, I don't know how she managed to do that. Should be very grateful.
Yeah. It's probably cutting the circulation off her foot, but fine.
I mean, who needs the foot, really? Yep, John trying to swing for it. Yeah.
Saying we're talking about Tomb Raider earlier was exactly reminds me of the start of Tomb Raider.
This came up before. I don't know. Oh, wait, it didn't, I don't think. Oh, well, whatever. That was a close one.
It does not look that sturdy.
It certainly does not. Bloody hell.
Why is everything on fire? I thought.
Because it's awesome. This does remind me it's very Tomb Raider-esque, actually. What a move there.
Come on, champ. Run away. Pointy edges on fire. Bad combination. Jesus. Cool.
Oh, God. Here goes $600. Better be worth it. I look great in that top.
Shut up.
All right.
How did...
Now we're talking.
Just go with it.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
That's what I'm saying. We should definitely investigate that.
What the fuck was that? This is definitely the spookiest part of the game.
Oh yeah, I mean all the weird angles and there's lots of shadows.
And I think the lighting's really good in this scene, actually. And that crazy noise we just heard sounded a lot like a scream.
It did.
Hold my hand. I'm scared. So, let's talk about the reveal of Josh as the maniac, since that's just happened, obviously. What do you think of that twist? I mean, you're going to learn his reasoning for it in a minute, and...
It's a bit weird, you know, there's no reason to expect it, but there also is every reason to expect it, because that's just a thing of these sort of games. It's usually the most obscure person. And...
Well, let's be honest, I mean, it is kind of set up in an interesting way. I mean, his family all have experience in movies, we saw a lot of the props and shit around.
Yeah, I mean, there is all that.
And let's be honest, he does hold a grudge against all of them. Very rightfully so, actually. So, I mean, it doesn't come totally out of left field. I mean, he was the one who invited them all up there as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's parts of me that kind of are a bit iffy on it, because it just as a... I don't know, it's... I mean, I saw it coming a million miles away even before I knew that happened. And I imagine you probably did as well.
I don't know, it's just a thing with these games. It's not just going to be nobody. It's going to be someone central to the plot somehow.
I mean, there's still some questions yet to be answered. Like, what was that creature that Emily and Matt saw? You know, who dragged away the bear? Who was the bear? With Mike and Jess. Who dragged Jess away? You know, there's still some things yet to be answered.
A lot of other things, yeah.
And that's one of the things I really like about the twist. Is... what the fuck is that? There's one of the things I really like about the twist is that it answers some questions, but not all of them.
Just enough, I guess.
I mean, we've still got a lot of the game left to go. There's a good couple of chapters left.
Cool, good.
There's a totem around here somewhere. Oh, for fuck. I went to go the other way. There we go.
Oh, okay.
You can't actually die in this bit, so there's nothing really to be... Gee, smart is. There's nothing really to be worried about. She was shocked about that. I'm a little bit glad. I'm glad we kept Matt alive, because I've genuinely never been able to do it. It's something that really annoyed me about playing this game.
We did good.
Now I can get all the trophies when I go home. I finally figured out how to fucking do it. And something that I am glad of now is that a lot of those really cheap jump scares are kind of finished now. Well, mostly.
It was like the slowest fall ever.
She looks very mildly upset by that.
Mm.
Yeah, gross is exactly my first fucking reaction to that. Dad? What the fuck? Dad.
Recognise those teeth anywhere.
What the fuck is that, George?
We're gonna find out eventually.
Yeah, is it Matt? Yeah, that does sound like Matt.
It's gets a bit cranky around this time. Give him a sandwich and
You're
he's
like,
good to go.
That's exactly what Matt sounds like. You fucking idiot, Emily.
Yeah. Really weird.
Now, remember at the sanitarium we saw something about those miners being trapped down here. I think this might be their camp.
Oh, right, yeah.
Hello. Bit of a weird place to keep this, but okay. Billy. That name sounds familiar. That was actually the name of the guy whose helmet we found. Do you remember we scared Jess into falling into the lake?
Oh, right, yeah.
Billy Bates, I think his name is. His full name is, anyway. Something else to look at over here. Just a broken ladder. Not that interesting.
It's got blood on it.
I've noticed it's like... Has it?
Hmm.
I thought it was just rust.
I mean, it could just be that. Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Let's just climb up this carefully. It's reminding me of LA Noire when you find the clues.
Hmm.
Let's leap right. I've never actually missed that. I'm a bit curious as to what happens. Not curious enough to try it in this playthrough though.
No, probably not a good idea.
I just tried to leap to it. There we go.
Like chucking those at you, don't they?
You're going to get a really annoying one towards the end of the game, trust me.
Or maybe it is just rust, 'cause that's what the other one looked like. But it's wood, isn't it?
What, the ladder?
Hmm.
The rungs. Is it rungs of a ladder?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're metal.
Oh, I suppose
That's why
so.
they rust.
I know how rust works, but...
You just asked if it was wood. Just trying to help, George. Did think I get scrutinised for that? Scrutinised for that? Shut up. We're getting closer to that noise.
Getting there eventually. It's getting very dark now,
Yeah.
Would someone turn off that fucking dry ice machine?
Oh, come on!
Fuck sake. Son of a bitch.
Why is there never a USB charger?
Oh my god. Let's walk towards it.
But still you, Matt? You breathing fire now?
Reminds me of that, the run video, the Foo Fighters run video, where the guy's the vaping thing. Here's where we fell down. I think this is where we fell down. Yeah, it is. There's definitely, I think this is where the game starts to definitely get more interesting. Like I mean, even though I've played this game, I know basically what happens. There's still a lot of questions that that won't be answered.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the best things about horror games. I mean, that's one of the things you can do with horror that you kind of can't do with a lot of other drama things, is that you can keep a lot of those questions close to your chest. Keep those cards close to your chest, rather. So when you watch something like American Werewolf in London, which is one of my favourite films, when the werewolf first turns up at the beginning and bites David, you don't learn where that werewolf came from. And that just kind of makes the film more interesting. I like it when...
It'd kind of ruin it if these things have a backstory at times.
Yeah, I like it when things are kind of left a little bit ambiguous. So we'll learn later on some of the answers to the questions that we have, but not all of them. And we'll talk about that as we go through. But I think the game, the narrative is stronger for not having answered them.
Well, I guess just naturally being near the end of the game now, it's going to get more interesting because we need to wrap up enough. But during like the mid bit, it's kind of fleshing some bits out.
I might have exaggerated how close to the end we actually are.
There's still quite a bit. Though.
There is still quite a bit.
Okay.
We're just over halfway.
That is quite an exaggeration.
Yeah.
I mean, I can fact check that if you want.
We're nearer the end than we are the beginning.
Let's see how many chapters there are. We'll go from there.
I don't remember what chapter we're on though. Oh, hang on, what's this?
8 or 9. Snow?
Does this look familiar to you?
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
What does this look like?
It looks like the film that I know I'm thinking of, but I can't remember the name of.
Not The Descent. The Descent is a big influence on this though.
Similar sort of thing.
This is the hole that Hannah and Beth fell down.
Yeah, I need that.
Look. Found our nerd glasses. There's a lot of clues to find here, by the way. So you want?
I imagine so. So there's 10 chapters.
I can't remember what we're on.
We're on like 8 or 9.
Okay, these chapters do get longer.
Danger is my middle fucking name.
That's the edge of the sign that we found earlier. That's basically at the top of this hole is where we were with Matt earlier with the deers.
Okay.
Stags rather. Her face on that photo is amazing.
Didn't really catch that. What have I done?
She's really surprised that she had the tattoo done. Right, let's have a look around because there's some really gruesome but interesting things to find around here.
A rock? Fuck.
Nope.
That's exactly a year ago.
It looks like one of them might have survived. Despite what we saw.
Okay. Well, so, it seems like you can't believe anything you see now. So.
There is another clue to find around here. Let me just have a look. Again, this is the section of the game I've probably played the least. So if I can't find it, then just have to. There we go. I think I found it. Oh dear. It looks... Well, let's be honest. That means one of them definitely survived to do that. So it looks
probably
like...
wasn't Beth.
It looks like Hannah might have lived. I'm trying to look at that. What's on it? What the fuck is going on over there? Let's go have a look over here quick.
Well, something sparkling.
It's a locket.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she was down here.
So, I mean, you probably could have figured that out with the other clues you found, Emily, but whatever. So, I'm going to spell out what's happened. Basically, Hannah and Beth fell down the hole. Beth died instantly. Hannah did not.
Cool.
That's basically what's happened. Oh dear.
Cool.
That's pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
Let's go look at it again.
Let's jab it.
By the way, there's a nice little detail there you probably didn't even notice. Basically, when we found the head, it played the death music that happens when a character dies. So we've basically now confirmed that Beth is dead. So it's a nice little touch that it played that music.
Yeah, it's quite hard to hear the music in there. There's probably a lot more musical cues I don't know about.
Well, so basically, the most major musical cue is one that happens whenever a character dies.
Yeah. Just love unlocking doors. I'm glad we get to do that.
Fucking dry ice machine again.
You'd think she'd still be sort of shook up from that.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I can. When you're down here, and it's like you have got to get out, because well, where's Hannah? So we might have to quickly, sharpishly get out. So it's probably not worth dawdling. I can understand her doing that, and Emily, for all her faults, does seem like someone who can kind of put aside stuff when she needs to.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh fuck! How didn't you see her? You always fail that, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just ignore what he just told us to do.
Get back.
There is definitely something creepy going on here. I mean, what is he doing down here?
Pretty weird.
Fuck that. Let's hide.
Go on.
I'm trying. The game really wasn't letting me do it for some reason. That was a shit hiding spot.
Nailed it.
Josh!
Yep. Let's learn about little Josh here.
Okay.
Very good. Every one of you, you got my name. And after all you've been through, good. I mean, how does that feel? Right? How does it feel? Do you enjoy feeling terrorized, humiliated? I mean, panicked? All those emotions that my sisters got to feel one year ago? Only guess what? They didn't get to laugh it off. No. They're gone.
I don't know if you noticed this, Josh, but none of us are laughing.
Oh, come. Why the long faces? Come on. It's good to get the heart racing every
Now,
now and then,
Josh
right?
clearly is unaware of the other things going on here.
Pitter pat. I hope you appreciated my little phantasmagorical spectacle. I mean, no detail too small,
That just
no
happened.
opportunity missed. It was such a delight to play the puppet master to all of your Pavlovian panic. And all that gore.
Yeah, look, there's a little mold of his body there.
Body.
Nice.
I mean, God, that shit was expensive. And no retakes. Nope. Only double takes. Oh, you should have seen your faces. Hook, line, and sinker for every little stinker.
Josh, why are you doing this?
Yeah, don't even ask this squirrely little runt. He's got no clue. He's out of his fucking tree. He's definitely off his meds.
Oh, come on, you guys. Revenge is the best medicine.
You're done. Mike, he's sick.
I've got some things to talk about in a minute about this. I'll just let you enjoy this dialogue.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Oh, you better believe this little puppy's going viral, ladies and germs. I mean, we got unrequited love. We got blood. I don't think there's enough hard drives in China to count all the views we're gonna get.
I'm glad he's just said
What are
views
you
instead of
talking
fucking
about,
hits.
asshat? Jessica's fucking dead.
What?
Did you hear me? Jessica is dead. You are gonna fucking pay, you dick!
Now, see, he was clearly unaware that anything like that happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, come on. Seriously, this is crazy, you know?
Shut up.
Why'd you hit her, man? Huh? Why'd you have to fucking hit her? Ah! What are you
Dude!
talking about? Ashley, you
I don't
piece of
like hitting
shit.
girls, but you do.
I got so mad. You don't hit a girl. You just don't. Dude, Chris. Bro, and I'm not your bro.
Where are we going?
Right, so the major problem I have with this twist is that it treats Josh's mental illness like he is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and I mean in the absolute worst way. When you don't take your meds, it isn't like this. You basically just go through a period of withdrawal. You don't lose your fucking mind.
No, probably not.
I did not hurt Jessica.
The most mental thing I've ever done when not taking mine is just I ate some more pizza than I needed.
That wasn't really
You know
the
what, man?
pills,
You
was
need
it?
to shut up.
I'm sorry.
Come on, coach.
What I didn't mention.
Don't you try and justify your shit.
What I meant. What I didn't reveal then, it was George's pizza I ate. So, what Josh basically has is BPD. He's bipolar. Now, I'm not bipolar. I don't, and you're not. So we can't talk to the effects ultimately of what that's like.
No.
I imagine it sucks, obviously, but I don't feel for a second that it is how this narrative is portraying it. I don't blame Rami Malek for it. I think he's doing what he was told to do, and as for how his performance actually is, I really enjoy how goofy he gets now. Some of his dialogue is fucking weird, and some of his performance is just so just tasting the scenery.
Shut the fuck up, Josh. You can't.
Yeah, that was really aggressive.
Oh, I felt that burn.
I felt the rage off of that one.
Can't we all just get along?
Also, are we like the way he's acting now? Are you really telling me someone who's that fucking got that much of a screw loose could really plan all of that? I don't buy it.
Yeah, it's pretty in depth. Fucking Kevin from Home Alone.
I feel if he had been the same as he was earlier, you know, he's a little bit weird, a little bit off the wall, but he's quiet mostly and he's confident. If that had been what he was like, I would have believed it because because he was quiet. I felt like there was something else going on in his head.
Yeah, the aggressive didn't work last time.
You're the biggest coward there is.
I did something. I made you believe in the world I created. And I showed you parts of yourself you were too afraid to visit.
You manipulated us. You tricked us, hurt your friends, and you did it all while you hid in the shadows. You're a coward, Josh. That's all you are.
Got a point. But Josh also has a point.
Okay, tie me up now, okay?
Stay still,
Right,
man.
right, still. Okay, can't tie him up if they just wiggle around.
What is he doing?
Little wiggle room, huh?
What does it take to shut you up?
Oh, not so tight.
What is he doing? How did they get him out of those other handcuffs they had?
It's a bit weird.
In God's name, is he talking about? This is hard to watch. You ever say this kind of shit before?
For at least
Oh,
3
I've never seen him like
or
this.
your money back. Hey, Mike. Mike. Mike,
What?
what happened with Jess, Mike?
Don't antagonise Mike. He's got a gun.
Yeah.
No.
That hasn't got blanks in it, by the way.
I got a problem, Mike. I don't remember killing Jess.
Christ.
No, I mean, like, I feel like I would remember.
He's got a
killing
point.
Yeah.
She's soft. And she's probably got like
Oh,
a really
Christ.
nice bod.
Shut your fucking mouth!
Let's hit Josh.
Son of a bitch! Ah! Stop, dude! Chill out! What the hell are you doing? You were gonna shoot him. I was just messing with him, man. Just trying to scare him.
By the way, you can't really
Taste of his
win
own
that.
medicine.
Basically,
What the hell, man? I could have killed him. Relax.
if you hit Mike, he says exactly the same thing, but Josh kind of laughs at you
I
for
didn't like
thinking
doing
for being
that.
an idiot like that.
Well,
Fair enough.
now at least he's quiet. You should go back to the lodge, man. What? Why? I'm gonna watch him until the morning. I don't need you beating him half to death the whole time. That's not fair. I thought I was protecting you. Yeah. Well, job well done. Take it easy. Well, what the hell, man? Go back to the lodge now, dude. Now.
Yeah, split each other up. That's a good idea.